All right. The presynaptic membrane is the neuron delivering the transmission. The postsynaptic membrane is the neuron receiving. Synaptic vessels, or neurotransmitter vessels, store various neurotransmitters that are released at the synapses. Membrane-bounded vessels containing condensed materials. All right, what are the steps of the synaptic transmission? Step 1, an action potential arrives at the axon terminal. Step 2, the membrane from the action potential causes influx of calcium ions. Step 3, docking of the synaptic vessels at the membrane. Step 4, release of neurotransmitters into the synapses. Step 5, activation. Step 6, postsynaptic potential generated and the postsynaptic cells summate. And finally, neurotransmitter inactivation. Alright, what major role do calcium ions play here? A good way to remember it is maybe some milk. It helps in triggering the release of neurotransmitters from the presynaptic neuron to the synaptic cleft. What happens to neurotransmitters here? Neurotransmitters stored in the vessel within the synaptic terminal until an action potential arrives, causing their release. What happens to neurotransmitters during inactivation? After being released, neurotransmitters can be altered into inactive substances. Neurotransmitters can go through the reputate process, where they are recycled by being transported back into the presynaptic cell and repackaged into the synaptic vessels. What is
reuptake?
It's the absorption by the presynaptic nerve ending of a neurotransmitter that has secreted. What is enzymatic deactivation? It's a mechanism that makes neurotransmitters inactive. How are excitation and inhibition different? Excitation is a graded depolarization, and
Inhibition is graded hyperpolarization.
how do excitatory versus inhibitory neurotransmitters affect the next neuron? Next neuron, excitatory, or EPSP, increase the likelihood of an action potential being generated. And inhibitory, or IPSP, decreases the likelihood. What are temporal summation and spatial summation? Temporal summation is repeated stimuli with brief time at a single synapsis, and spatial is over space. How are they related to EPSP and IPSP? And how can they affect the electrical charge and potential of an action potential in the next neuron? Summation allows the subthreshold of EPSP to influence an action potential production. Both permit a neuron to integrate the electrical information provided by all inhibitory and excitatory synapses.
John Eccles for saving the day, for introducing excitatory. Thank you, John Eccles, for saving the day, for introducing inhibitory. Our man John saw graded potential, not action potential, a graded potential. It can be both.
It can be both. Depolarization.
Hyperpolarization?
Thank you, John Eccles, for saving the day,
for introducing excitatory. Thank you, John Eccles, for saving the day, for introducing inhibitory.
A graded depolarization is an excitatory postsynaptic potential, which happens from sodium ions entering the neuron.
A graded hyperpolarization is an inhibitory postsynaptic potential, which can happen from a flow of negatively charged chloride
ions into the cell.
Thank you, John Eccles, for saving the day, for introducing excitatory. Thank you, John Eccles, for saving the day, for introducing inhibitory. Our man John saw graded potential, not action potential. A graded potential, it can be fun.